Man, I was talking and didn't even have my mic on. My bad, guys. So let me start over. Father, I thank you for the people that are going to be watching. I pray that the things that will be said will be 100% truth, very little feelings, and the things that need to be addressed. I pray it opens up people's eyes. And I pray for Dan Brown, Lord. I pray that he repents, that whatever bitterness and evilness that he has in his heart, Lord, that he repents from it, he gets rid of it, and returns back to you, Lord. In the name of Jesus, amen. So, as I was talking and nobody hearing me because the mic wasn't turned on, um, dressing Dan Brown. Everybody knows about the fallout between Dan Brown and Pastor Seiko Woods. I'm not gonna do a recap. If you wanna find out what happened, go to Pastor Seiko's YouTube page. If you give me a minute, let me pull up the BCB. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the links to the link to his channel so that if you want to know what's really happening, you can backtrack it on his channel. He has all the videos up there. He doesn't take anything down, which I'm thankful for because, as you will learn, not everybody keeps their videos up, including me. I've taken some down. Um, but then like all of his is down. So just give me a minute. Let me put the link to the Pastor Seiko's page up. I don't have a double screen, so whenever I gotta post a link, I gotta do it through a tablet or my cell phone actually. I gotta change a few things here. All right, there it is. I put the link to Pastor Seiko Woods' page, the BCB channel. Go over there, s- like, subscribe, and and share everything that we're gonna mention today. It's all noted on his page with YouTube videos and everything. So there's nothing for me to add on to it. If you want to find out the fallout between Dan and Pastor Seiko Woods, just go on his channel, look at the videos. It's all there, right? So with Dan this morning, well, I found out this morning because somebody sent me the comments. But apparently, he's been doing this for months. Now, my last interaction with Dan, I think, was at the beginning of July or the end of June. We had an interaction. It was a very bad one, and he told me to stay off his page, and I did. I would say it's about at least a month and a half since I've been on his garbage page of YouTube. And when I I seen the post, the message this morning, I decided to go onto his page and see what's going on. And his page, I'm showing it to you right now. It's if you scroll through it, see see this video right here, this video. So I'll read you this. I have been holding this for a while. You have two defunct pastors. He's talking about Seiko Woods, and I want to say that he's talking about Puny Giant. Honestly, because he had an interaction with him this morning. That I definitely know it's Seiko was, but I think the other pastor is Puny John. I could be wrong. If either of them see this video, they can correct me on it. Calls him a yes man, and others run their mouths about it, bear witness, and none of them came to me directly about it. Again, another per- perpetuated lie. I'm not 100% on this story, but if he's talking about when they had the fallout, then Dan's lying because Pastor Seiko repeatedly called them out. I mean, you'll see everything on Pastor Seiko's page. You'll be able to debunk all this stuff without me saying anything. That's that's just what it is. Dan uses AI for all of his sources. I use AI too. I mean, use AI to make video, but I know that AI has flaws, and it's not 100%. So I guess I'm assuming it's either definitely. I definitely know it's Pastor Seiko, but the other pastor, it could either be Puny Giant or Pastor X. I don't think he's smart enough to say anything stupid to Pastor X. So I lean more towards Puny Giant because they had an interaction this morning. And, and I believe if Pastor Seiko sees this, I think this was the one of the songs regarding the N word, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see something. Let's see if anybody made a comment. There's some Elizabeth girl on here heard the song and I don't recall hearing that part. Yeah, this is the N word, the N word song. Now everything again, everything's on the BCB channel. I'm not gonna go into too much details. The N word was definitely there, so you don't need to take my word for it. I put the link to Pastor Seiko's page. Go over there, go debunk the stuff for yourself. You don't need it doesn't need me to elaborate too much on that. All right. So then I'm before this is let's see where I want to go. Oh, where did it start for me today? So it started with with these top three posts. So I'm gonna say these for last, right? So we're gonna, as you can see, I scroll all through this page. Now, from the last time I've had an interaction with him, it was a lot worse than this. But apparently he cleans it up. He takes down stuff, which I have no problem with. I do it too. But it's also kind of sneaky in the same token. And if my power gets cut off, let me know. Just bear with me because I'm in the middle of a lightning storm and the house is flickering. But as you can see, his post is cleaned up. Let me go over to his videos. Of course, the song with the N word is gone. And then we can go over to his live streams. He did the I got questions and accountability, which was directed at Pastor Seiko. So his page is cleaned out, man. So you're not gonna get any truth on this page at all. If you want to really know what happened between the two of them, you're gonna have to go to the BCB channel and watch it yourself. Forgive me for looking down as this. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss any of the comments, because I'm not one that can read it on the screen and continue talking and do all that stuff. I'll get confused real quick. All right, so back to the post. So there is a couple of things that are in question. You know what I mean? And based on what I'm reading and way the way I see him interacting, I can't even acknowledge him as a reformed or Calvinist person. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a charismatic, 100%. And the way Dan is reacting, he's acting like a charismatic, and I say this in truth. Um, but he's not a good charismatic. And let me give you some examples, right? So everybody knows about Catherine Crick and her what they call a spiritual father, which is horrendous. With the things that he has done with women, right? Myself and another brother have called her out, and that other brother has been attacked by other charismatic preachers. And without saying names, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who it is. It's no different than what Dan is doing to Pastor Seiko, right? G. Craig Lewis, Catherine Craig, and her, I think it was Geo David, is her, what she says, spiritual father. They're doing the same thing, right? Sleeping with women, um, having multiple encounters with women. And Dan is doing the exact same thing as other charismatic preachers are doing to that other person. And the reason why I don't want to say the other person's name, because that's a brother of mine. He already gets enough heat, and I'm not trying to send more negative people to his page. But Pastor Seiko knows who he is. Dan is doing the same thing to Pastor Seiko with G. Craig Lewis. Pastor Seiko has been a big advocate for protecting women, especially women that have been abused in the church. And I thought, from the Dan that I knew about 3 years ago to the Dan that I know now, it's a whole switch. The Dan back then wouldn't approve of what's happening with these women. But the Dan I know now is like he's defending the predators instead of defending the women. And I say that in all honesty. You want proof? Let me show you. All right. So let me show you. I'm reading this one comment that he said about Pastor Seiko regarding Damon, which is a whole total different topic regarding that. Yeah, see, I mean, here he goes on this whole explain to me, since most ascribe to Zionism and the support of our greatest ally that does receive a lot of tax dollars and support and is active in our politics. Um, Dan, he does not like Jewish people. He does not like the state of Israel. He just doesn't. But that's another topic for another day. Yeah, this is about political boundaries. That's another topic for another day. Dan is a liberal. He makes that known. He's a Democrat. We his actions prove that. Anyways, moving on. Let's start with this one, right? I showed you all before where Seiko lied about calling Corey's PO and really doesn't know if something is owed or even what that amount is. Yet you all still sit there and pant at the disgusting behavior. He says that, right? But he also was part of the people that were that believe Seiko. I still believe Seiko. Um, I can't help Dan if he decides to side with a criminal. That's just my take on that one. And then last night he grandstanded on friendship and body life. He only cares if you agree with him. These are the facts. No, it's not. You know how I know that? He doesn't agree with me on a lot of stuff. He doesn't agree with Bendigo on a lot of stuff, right? So those are not the facts. So right there, you already lie. We disagree on theology, but on the core stuff, we do. To say that he only cares if you agree with him, that's not true. It's not true at all. There are quite a few people he trashed all because they don't toe the line, straight up hypocrisy. Nope, not true at all. Not true at all. There's He's brought people on there that disagree with him, and they have very good conversations. Some people don't take my word. Give it a link to the BCB channel. Go look at the videos yourself, please. If you call him pastor and talk about protecting the women and children, but sit there quietly clutching your pearls at others while he shared images of women in compromising situations or private phone conversations while interrogating a woman, asking inappropriate questions, and sharing email with the women's name and pictures, then you are no better. You entertain this mess. Does that include you, Dan? Because for as far as my knowledge is, y- um, you were okay with it. So what changed? And second of all, I've watched all his videos, man. I've binge watched YouTube. I'm known to do that. I watch his videos. I watch um Isaiah Saldivar's. I watch Abendigo's. I binge watch people's videos while I'm at work, while I'm doing things, and I've never seen him put images of women in compromising situations or private phone conversations. The only time that I can say that he aired a conversation is when the female um played a portion of the conversation and made him look bad. When he played the whole conversation, they left out a large part. Right? There's there's April Chapman. There's a few others that done that. Right? So all of a sudden you're on their team. What is what is this, like the fourth, fifth, sixth apology tour? Seventh? I lost track, Dan. I'm not defending GOL as he is disgusting and disqualified. However, a sit down confrontation was nothing more than to drive views. Uh, you say you're not defending GOL, but you are. I mean, you are. Just call it what it is, man. You are indirectly defending GOL. Anyways, enough of that comment, right? So we're getting to the real topic at hand, which is G. Craig Lewis, right? G. Craig Lewis did a whole bunch of back in the day of the hip hop videos. I never really watched him, but any of his sermons, but I knew of the hip hop videos, right? Pastor Seiko Woods did a series about him and the allegations that were against him. He brought some people on that were affected by him, females. Again, don't take my word for it. I gave you the link. Click on his link. Go through the videos. It's all there, right? It's all there. I ain't gotta say nothing more. Dan, the old Dan that I knew, he trashes charismatics, right? He trashes Bagani, Saldivar, Signorelli, Greg Locke. If it's anything with charismatic, he trashes it. So if he wants to talk about someone not towing the line for Pastor Seiko, then what does that make you? Because you do the same thing that you're accusing this man of, which is not true. So for the people that are watching this, man, let me let me get your thoughts on this real quick. for a person that's supposedly not charismatic, right? Puts this out. And before I read this, before he cleaned out his YouTube, he did a whole series on Daystar. He went after Marcus Rogers about going on Daystar. He called out Daystar for the things they were doing. He went on a whole slew. Now we look at this post here. Let me know, because I could be wrong. Let me know if this does not come off as saying Daystar is not so bad. Charismatics are not so bad. Because the way I read this, it's he's promoting Fred Price Jr. and he's promoting Daystar. That's just the way I see it. So I'm gonna read it for you. He says, let me lay this here. Pastor Fred Price Jr. is a prominent figure in the Daystar Television Network's ever increasing faith program, which has been broadcasting since 1978 and is one of the longest running Christian teaching programs on television. Daystar Television Plus, the ministry led by Apostle Frederick K.C. Price and his son, Pastor Fred Price Jr., is associated with Crenshaw Christian Center Church and has reached millions of viewers worldwide on Daystar Television. Let me just stop there for a second. Old Dan would have had a problem with calling somebody an apostle. I'm getting somewhere with this one. He would have said like so-called apostle or something to that nature. He would have not written apostle Frederick without saying that it's false or something to that nature, right? He would have not have said long-time Christian um, teaching program on television, Daystar Television. He would have said so-called Christian or something like to that nature. It wouldn't have been as nice as it is now. All right. So and then it goes on Daystar. Fred Price Jr. often speaks on topics such as the unseen spiritual realm, including angels, demons, and spiritual warfare. Daystar. Old Dan Brown would have disqualified all of that because he doesn't believe in it. He also engages in live ministry now, sessions with other Daystar hosts such as Rick Reiner, where he shares practical spiritual insights and biblical teaching. YouTube Plus. These programs aim to help viewers grow in faith, understand spiritual realistic and prepare spiritual reality. Sorry, and prepare for the challenges of the last days. To me, this whole thing right here sounds like a promotion of Daystar. It is very charismatic. There's nothing reformed about this comment. Now, I don't know if he just copied it and pasted it, which could be what he did, but a real Calvinist would not post that. He just wouldn't. He would just not a real Calvinist would not post any of that stuff. Not in the context of like that. So that leads me to believe that Dan has become charismatic. Not a good one though. It's nothing that no one that I would recommend going to. All right, so enough of that comment, right? And this is I already spoke on this one. This is the two the song with the N word. Everything I'm saying, if you wanna if you wanna research everything that I just said, it's on the BCB channel. Go click the link, pull up a video. He's on a lot of them, and you'll see that what he's posting today is not what he did back then. It's a total switch. Really is. All right, so on this comment, conflict resolution, right? Let us reason together. When you click on it, it's Puny Giant. So I told you he had an interaction with him this morning. We're gonna read that. So one of when he was talking about the two pastors, Puny is definitely one of them. The other one, I do I do lean saying that he's Pastor Seiko. The other one that I think could be Pastor X, but he'd be stupid to talk about Pastor X though. Would not would not be good for him, right? So this is the comments that are in that are in that started this whole mess this morning. It says someone made a great point. Since body life and such gets thrown around so much, let's see it in action. It's more than just settlements. Let's see the action. BCV, the BCV podcast. Donate all funds accumulated from the stream and subsequent clips and views to the victims that you claim to be so concerned about. We will wait. Dan, whether he does it or not, or is doing it, it's nobody's business but his and theirs. Like I said, go on to the earlier videos. He brought on some of the people that were abused. He talks to people, man. Listen, he lives in Texas. You live way up north. Unless you're around him 24 hours a day, we don't know what Pastor Seiko is actually doing. And it's none of our business. It really isn't. It's just that simple, man. If not, then it is only lip service and benefits only you. I would hate to make money off of someone else's sorrow. That's interesting, considering that you're on an apology tour. Let me point out something too. This may not be much, but a couple of years ago, Mr. Dan only had like 60 subscribers. I say couple, I mean like last year. As it stands right now, he sits at 202 subscribers, and I compliment him. I'm happy for the man. You know, he's breaking the threshold. I ain't mad at him. Now I do know with YouTube they made they added some more restrictions, so he's not getting monetized off of YouTube as far as I know. But if he is, I'm happy for him. Me, I'm stuck at 47. I'm irrelevant. I'm a nobody. 100% nobody. But if you want to talk about making money, all you got to do, and you know this, Dan, on YouTube, when you talk bad about Pastor Seiko, it'll get you about 1,000 subs easy, and you're well on your way. Congrats, seriously. I mean, you you figured it out. I guess you studied T God's channel so much because he's doing, from what I hear, he's doing pretty good over there. With his subscribers that you're doing the exact same thing he is, because your page is becoming just like his. It's all filled with stuff from Pastor Seiko. Yeah, and you got a few videos to break in between of like music, but 90% of your stuff is talking trash about Pastor Seiko, and that brings in subs. So I ain't mad at you, but don't talk about making money off of people's sorrows when you're jumping on the gravy train yourself. That's just that, that's just how it is. Now moving on. Where- All right, so we go deeper into that comment section, right? Here you got Puny Giant. He calls him out on it, and then Dan says no one sent for you either. It's fine, right? But it started with like look, Pastor Seiko, he responded. So let me read his response because I don't want to get accused of oh, you didn't read his response or anything like that. So let's uh let's read that real quick. Hello, Dan. You're still butthurt because I exposed you as a fake friend and subsequently decided to distance myself from you, and you still can't seem to accept that as a reality. Why are you still following me? Shouldn't you be somewhat studying whether or not the book of Job is inspired? How's that coming along for you? As far as donating funds to victims are concerned from revenues stream in your infamous words, nah, I'm good. My collaboration with XABC support channel and righteous judgment channel in exposing predators and frauds like G. Craig is what the Lord has called me to do. It's ironic and hypocritical that you're so concerned about victims affected by G. Craig while publicly defending Corey Minor. Yes, he defends Corey Minor. And now he's defending G. Craig. Whether he admits it or not, that's up to him. But he's defending G. Craig, who robbed at least 64 victims out of 2.87 800 $2,874,469.63 of their life savings and investments, and you did All of this while knowing Corey refuses to pay the victims back to this very day. If you weren't so unserious, I think you were intentionally trying to gaslight me. But you're not too much of a critical thinker these days, because if you were, the Holy Spirit would have convicted you by now from making this asinine and obtuse post attempting to question my motives for clickbait. This is not the war you want with me, Dan. And you know this. Otherwise, you would have cammed up when I extended the invitation to you months ago, but you refused. You're unskilled in apologetics, and you're definitely unskilled in biblical knowledge. So do yourself a favor, go troll somewhere else's page, or better yet, circle back and go over to your man's channel and see if he's hiring for suck up boss. I hear Corey's still accepting application. That's a good one. I didn't even read that one, but that's a good one. I like that. Then Miss Sharon made her comment out of respect for Miss Sharon and Nyla Woods. I don't need to read that comment. But Dan said, "Oh, no one sent for you either. Does that free counseling include recording and sharing those recordings? I'm pretty sure those who are clinically licensed to counsel would say there is an issue with that." Good day. Dan, you don't know the laws of Texas, and neither do I. But I do know they are one of the few states that it's legal to record conversations. Thankfully, they do, because otherwise, people like you will get away with a lot of stuff. And then he goes on about the rant, whatever. And then here we hit the comment of Pastor Seiko's daughter. He tells her exit stage left, please and thank you. And then here's my interaction with him. So here's the deal, Dan. You told us your page is not for everybody, and it's not. It's definitely not for good people, anyways. But when you make stupid comments, people have the right to defend themselves on the comments. In this case, you attack somebody, and his family came to his defense. His friends came to his defense. So if you don't want us on your page, then you can block us, or leave them alone. It's that simple. Or you can continue do what you're doing, and then people will respond accordingly. That's that's the choices. But we stay away from your channel, but you keep up with shenanigans, and then we have to respond. So yeah, balls in your court, my man. And I think that's maybe, is there one more? I think that's it. Oh yeah, this one. It must be true. Hit dogs holler. Yeah, you got that from Pastor Seiko. Yeah. So there's I did want to address one. Where's my comment? I wanted to address that. I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. I think it was in here. Somewhere. I'm looking for that comment. There was one comment he made about the apostolization. I said it's actually going great. Oh, here it goes. Then nobody called for you. How is that the apostolization, apostolizing going? Tell me the Bible for that, right? He gets that comment because he watched one of my videos uh, when I was calling out what's it, Captain Crick, and I don't need no more of this junk. I'll show you where it's at. If I could show you where it's at real quick, let me pull it up. It was these two, right? What I did was watching Isaiah speak on Catherine Crick live. He did a live talking about false teachers, and he mentioned that. And I was watching it live, and I made my comments on the live screen. And then also with the brother Abednego, same thing. So that's where he gets that the apostolizing, and plus he saw the comments on Facebook, so that's where that comment came from. I don't have any problems with it. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. He can watch the videos. He can visit the Facebook page. He can say whatever he wants about me. I don't care. He can make a video, make two, make zero. Doesn't matter. You know whatever whatever floats his boat. But yeah, I just needed to come and say some things. Now he's probably gonna make a couple of comments here and there. He might even do a video here and there, and that's okay. That's cool with me. It's all good. You know, may be blessed, and that is it. I really didn't want to get on here and to talk about him, but it just so happens to be like that. I'll be back later with the normal stuff. All right, that's it for me. God bless everybody. See y'all later.